Okay, welcome guys. Uh, Today we'll get to know some information about the software industry. So we did one video earlier, that is what is software or IT industry, right? Now we'll go a little bit inside the industry. What are the different roles present? What is Agile? How the software methodology is there before Agile and after Agile? Maybe this video will discuss few points about the before Agile, which I am having knowledge. Let me share. If you want anything, you can share your comments. Fine. I'll start the process. See, before Agile, how the things are present means, assume if you take one project, okay, assume the project is Intuit. This project has one project manager, okay. What manager will do, he will manage all the dependencies or all the resources available for this project smooth functioning. He has to arrange anything for the team or for the project to complete the project as per the customer requirement. Okay, assume we are having a customer. Initially the deal will be happens with the customer. We need to provide, or the software company has to provide the required things to the customer. He is the customer. Now once project manager set up his team, what are the team members present and what is their roles and responsibility, what are the resources available. As updated earlier, project manager has to arrange the resources, means developers, testers and configuration management team as well, and manager has to procure required hardwares and softwares from the respective company, okay, with the procurement team. Once all resources are available, and for deployment of this particular project Intuit, we need server as well. Even this server specific information as well gather. Manager has to arrange things based on the customer specification. So based on that amount, the amount will be charged from the customer end. Okay, let's navigate into the industry actual office, what's happening. The requirements gathering phase, this is the phase where customer has to provide the necessary requirements to the BO, means business owner or product owner, and what are the different modules required for the customer, and how those modules to be appear, who are the customers for those modules, and how the load will be present on that modules. All this, before that customer has to give his complete ideas, inputs, what he is going to start, all information to the requirement gathering team. In this team these people will be present, and once the requirements completed, then there are one or two architects present in the team. Based on this modules gathering and the flow of the application and the behavior of the application, architect will design the prototypes of the project. Once the prototype is ready, he will hand it over to the respective development team. Along with the respective development team, he will be in coordinate with the development team as well. He has to clarify any doubts while developing the project or while creating the new module inside the project. Maybe some places architect may interact with the customer as well. The customer means few things may not be possible in a real-time implementations. So what are the other ways of preparing the customer requirements? He will suggest that as well. So even architect will be he will be working in coordinates with the BOPO and the customer as well. It's based on requirement, not directly. Okay, once the prototype is ready, then people will be handed over to the development team. The development team, multiple persons are present. Initially, team leads present. Under each team leads, there may be n number of developers will be present. So these teams again may have different people. Few people having UI developer, and few persons may have backend developer, and few DBA persons, and some persons for the reports development, and some persons will monitoring the work. In parallel with the developers, sometimes even team lead as well, he has to involve in the development activity. It's based on the industry standards, persons will be working. But at the end, the product should be delivered in a good quality fashion to the customer. Here, whatever the development we are talking, right, before Agile, the product deployment may happens around 2 to 2 months. One production deployment 2 months or 3 months, or some projects may take 6 months as well, big projects. So based on the project architecture and requirement, the delivery of the product may be different. Okay. Next, once the development phase, developers will be involving based on their module requirement. They will be performing their development activity, and once the development activity is completed, then this code will be handed over to the testing team. Again, as we discussed earlier, manager has the responsibility to arrange these developers, required developers for the completion of the project, and he has to arrange the required hardware resources or software resources as well in coordinates with the procurement team, hardware procurement team. Okay. Once the code development is completed, then code will be moved to the testing team. Again, I am not discussing here about the tools required for the development, how the IT structure inside the any existing office I am discussing. Okay. Once the testing team is aware the code is came inside their premises, then they will be proceeding the testing. In this testing phase, if they found any bugs, then they will be create bugs or tickets, and they will be assigning to the development team. Okay, the development team will be resolve those bugs. Again, it will be moved some days. Okay, once the product is stable, then they will be handed again in the testers area. There are multiple testers as well, manual testers having, and automation testers also present. Based on project, this testers headcount will be present. Okay, automation headcounts will be present. Once everything is completed from this end, meanwhile, if any new improvements are required from the customer end, they will gather, or if any changes to make the standard in a quality way, all the suggestions may get from the high level as well. But we need to modify the this requirements gathering documentation. Then once testing is fine, then we need configuration team. What this configuration team will do, they will perform the build and deployment activity. Build and deployment activity. Normally this build and deployments in the production environment is happening in the Linux servers only. So we need Linux strong knowledge persons like admins. We can't treat it as admins. Strong knowledge in the admins, Linux persons. Then they can be performed. This configuration management members, it may come from the development team or may come from the testing team, or there may be new persons as well. Again, it's based on project requirement and the organization employment structure. The persons will be included in this area. Okay, once the build deployment is complete, then we need to, in the deployment phase, we need to deploy our application outside the servers. Outside servers in the sense the servers will be managed by the company people only. Then customer will be directly interacting with this server. Whatever the product he is expecting, that product will be available and he can go for some tests. Maybe some UAT, user acceptance tests at this server, or it may be production as well. Okay, maybe user acceptance test we can perform in the testing environment as well. Like they are having different environment like dev environment, QA, UAT, prod. There may be other environments as well. Maybe before dev CI environment. It's based on the project structure. Different environments will be present. Okay. Thank you. I'm stopping here. Let's continue with the next session. Thank you.